All right, what up, Mateo? This is like the first time I'm making an appearance on this channel, but I'm basically just the casual asking questions, and Mateo's going to give me his take. So yeah, James Harden to the Nets today, bro.
Yeah.
What are you feeling on that?
The league just got a lot more interesting, man, because I thought that the Lakers looked like far and away a peg above everyone else. But with Harden on the Nets, I think at the end of the day, it gives them something that no one else has, which is three superstars. And with acquiring James Harden, they lost their depth. They lost Jarrett Allen. They lost Karis LeVert, and Spencer Dinwiddie's out with an ACL injury. So when I was watching those Nets preseason and those early regular season games, what I thought made them look really strong was their depth. Because, between KD and Kyrie, that's already a lot of shots to go around. But if they ever sat, Dinwiddie could run the offense, so could LeVert. So their depth is what really impressed me. And so they just did a complete 180 on that. Now they're really top heavy like the old Golden State Warriors, and the depth is a little questionable now. So I got that trade written down because it wasn't just the Nets and Rockets. So the Nets acquired Harden, and the Rockets got freaking Victor Oladipo out of nowhere, Dante Exum, Rodions Kurucs, 3 Brooklyn first-rounders, a Milwaukee first-rounder, 4 Brooklyn first-round pick swaps. So
Wow.
they got a whole.
Sorry, who was the first guy you mentioned? Sorry.
Victor Oladipo from the Pacers.
Okay, wow. Wow, okay.
Right? Yeah, some fantasy implications there, yeah.
Yeah.
And so the Pacers, they acquired Karis LeVert, who was probably the best young guy on the Nets, and also a second-rounder. And then the Cavs were the fourth team involved. They got Jarrett Allen, and they already have enough centers already. So they got Andre Drummond, and they got our boy JaVale McGee. But now they got Jarrett Allen. So you wonder if they're going to cut McGee because they don't really need 3 centers, Oh, they also got Taurean Prince too. Yeah, man. The Nets got really top heavy, and their depth is kind of shot. But they have something that no other team has right now, which is that third superstar. So
let me ask you, what do you think about? Because it's technically a super team, right? But like technically, aren't these like the 3? Like, I'm not gonna be a douche, a jerk about it, but aren't these like kind of like the 3 biggest like drama queens, like
that
Kyrie?
KD, if you ever catch him on podcasts like the Bill Simmons podcast, he's a really sulky kind of snappy dude. At least he can be on that pod. Kyrie is, if you've been paying attention to the NBA for the last 2 or 3 years, you know what Kyrie's about. And Harden just, tanked his trade value and just went to strip clubs and gained weight, did whatever he wanted. And the amazing thing is he still went out there and dropped like high 40s some nights. So you got to give him respect for that. He can, be all night at the strip club, just get full on barbecue wings and then just drop 40 in an NBA game. So that is impressive.
Yeah,
anyway,
definitely.
The Nets chemistry was already really crazy given all this Kyrie stuff. There's crazy rumors flying around now. Is he going to sit out the rest of the year? Does it have to do with COVID, social justice, all the crazy stuff happening at the Capitol? But I did see a tweet from a verified account saying that Harden, the reason they want to make this Harden move was because Kyrie has been getting so unpredictable. He's not showing up to games, but at the same time, he's also participating in social justice Zoom meetings while games are going on.
Strange. What's going on there? Oh,
yeah, so he's just willingly not participating in the games, it seems, and kind of a fucked up thing to do to his buddy Kevin Durant, who he recruited here and is really good friends with. I don't know what KD thinks about all this. We'll see.
KD's been out, hasn't he? I mean, KD's been injured, hasn't he? It seems like they've been like. Let me ask you something, because I'm a casual, but like I play fantasy, and I watch sporadically just because the Nets are like, a super team technically. But do you think that isn't there something strange that like Kyrie gets injured and then KD gets they like alternate injuries, kind of letting them both like. I don't know. It seems kind of weird to me, but teams probably
that's a strategy, and I don't think it's that weird because Kyrie's always an injury thing, and KD's coming off the Achilles, so that's going to be constant maintenance. You don't want to push it and make him risk, having an ACL injury or something like that. So I get that injury maintenance plan, but Harden being in the mix now, you feel like new surroundings, people that he wants to be with allegedly. You think he's going to ball out. He's going to give it his all, at least in the regular season. And when the playoffs come around, we'll see if we're going to get the same old Harden who's not executing, or if the other guy's going to show up.
Let me ask you, what was his synergy like with Durant when they played on OKC? Because I loved Durant back then. I didn't really care for Harden though, but did they get along? I mean, they must have, right?
They did. They got along great. Him,
Oh,
Westbrook,
okay.
and they all really. Um, so when they were
Oh, Mateo, you're
doing,
super choppy right now, brother. Is there something going on with your internet?
you hear me now?
Uh-oh.
So,
Yeah. You might just want to like leave and come back.
oh,
No worries. This happens sometimes. We're just seeing you
should
frozen, broski.
I leave the
But yeah.
studio now?
Yeah, just leave and come back. It's okay. It's just a technical glitch. So Mateo will be back. I cannot provide enough NBA info to stall here, but it's going to be interesting. I think we'll get into how this really affects the Lakers because at the end of the day, this is LA Sports Channel, and we're trying to, trying to keep it relevant to that. So let's see. He is back here. Let's see if he can give us commentary on that. Mateo, are you good, brother?
Yeah, I'm good. You're coming in a little bit
Okay.
choppy though, but I'm gonna turn off my Wi-Fi and all that stuff.
Am I?
Now
Okay,
you're good.
cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you as kind of a segue, do you think they will be a challenge to the Lakers? Mateo, if you hit your video off, if you turn your video off, it might improve your connection a little bit. Just try turning your vid off because we just want to hear you.
Don't need to see me.
Okay.
All good, brother.
Okay, you sound perfect.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So what's your take on that? Like realistically, like the Nets, I mean, they have enough firepower to probably get through the regular season with Harden alone, So like, do you think once they hit the playoffs, they'll challenge us?
It depends how quickly they develop and how the chemistry develops and stuff. Because I think just Kyrie and KD or just Harden and KD could be a good challenge to us. But now with Harden on board and they lost a lot of their depth, as I was saying earlier, this year, I don't think they're going to figure it out if that's like what I'm betting on. I don't think they'll be winning the title this year. I think they'll need to figure out some chemistry things. They'll need to improve their depth, honestly, because how are they going to guard LeBron? You can throw KD on him. How are they going to guard Anthony Davis is the other question. I'm not hearing your audio right now, Beeks.
Sorry, brother. You're saying right now on our channel that the Lakers are going to two-peat. You're saying it.
They should. Yeah.
Fuck,
okay. Money on that. Yeah.
Let's go. Okay.
What do you think?
I don't. You're the man here. I'm just asking. So I hope. I always hope. I think the Golden State Warriors are looking good, dude. Like Steph
they're
and
looking
Dre.
fun. I don't know if they're looking good. And speaking of which, we got a game coming up with them soon. I think we're going to beat them into the ground, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Really? I mean, Draymond is still a beast. I know you hate Draymond, but I think like
I get annoyed at him. Yeah,
he's good though. But yeah, no, I mean, we have the best team.
All the people that that I sports hate, as they call it, I respect their games. Like I sports hated KD for the longest time when he was on the Warriors. Respected the hell out of his game and his knowledge of the game, but they still don't have enough firepower. The Warriors. If you want to do a little quick thing on that,
Let me ask you. Okay, yeah, I mean, we could. I more or less wanted to ask you, like in the East, like who's going to beat the Nets though? Now, like you said, you don't think they're going to find the chemistry. So you think the Bucks are still better than them, or like what's your take on that? The East
has a lot of stuff at the top. They got the Bucks. They got the Heat. I just got to pull up the standings real quick.
Okay. Yeah, the Heat, right? Wow. Okay, the Heat are definitely interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, let me just pull up the standings right quick. In the East, Celtics. Did I say Celtics?
You didn't, but yeah, they're always a threat.
The Celtics and the Sixers too, who are looking, kind of good. Embiid.
I don't know if you follow. I don't know if you follow Max Kellerman, but he's like Embiid for MVP. I was like, be quiet, dude. Like, what are you saying?
Dude, I used to listen to Max on LA Sports Radio, ESPN.
Really?
Yeah, I would listen to him on my drives home from work. He used to have really well polished takes back in the day, man. Like when the Lakers were trapped and they were choosing whether to draft D'Angelo Russell or Jahlil Okafor. he said, fuck Okafor, Russell all day, and they ended up doing Russell. So he had really good takes, and he went on First Take, and it just turned to poop. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's
I
just
really wonder if they take him in like a back room on their first day and are like, listen, we don't need you to be smart. We just need you to get reactions out of people.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely because the stuff he says is just you're like, what, dude? Like, what are you saying? Like, I just saw that game.
When he was saying Kawhi was better than Kobe, when Kawhi, beat an injured Warriors team,
that's ridiculous. Yeah, come on.
That's like, this is not the same Max. He's been abducted or something.
And I'm tired of dudes like on ESPN instantly putting Kobe as like, he's not even like a top 2 Laker. Like, yeah, he is. If I want him to be, like, he's done enough. Like, they always like put him to the side. Like, even if you think that Magic is the best or Kareem is, I don't care. It's like you're not gonna just like instantly put Kobe like. Max said something like he's like the 8th best Laker of all. I was like, Max. The 8th best. I was like, bro, you're out of you're out of your mind, dog. Like, whatever. You can think Shaq is, but I don't care. But like, if Kobe isn't like, come on, like 1 to 3. I mean, come on, Kobe. Like, whatever. That's just my take. But yeah,
it's a completely reasonable take, and that's the kind of shit that makes me think like, all right, Max, you're not trying to like make a good argument here. You're just trying to generate views and engagement on Twitter and on YouTube,
Yeah, he says crazy stuff. But okay, bros, he wanted to go into the Warriors. We can kind of like wrap it up with this final take because the Warriors have been kind of like the long-standing kings and like, like we took the torch back. But I mean, the Warriors are not a longevity like organization. I mean, they were never like they're nothing like Lakers. Like we're definitely just like classes above most everyone. So. Where were you gonna? Was that up there, brother? Oh, Mateo, did I lose you? I lost Mateo there. Okay, dang. I wanted to hear his point. Mateo, you want to rejoin? Can you hear me? Uh-oh, we're having some technical difficulties tonight. Okay. I might have to wrap this up. I really want to hear a second on the Golden State Warriors. Wait. I think we got enough knowledge out of him. I'm just going to type something to him real quick. It's still a work in progress. So we're just getting it together. But Mateo is one of the brightest NBA heads I know, and he loves the Lakers, and I love the Lakers. I always have to, and with Kobe's passing last year, it's just like I actually kind of wanted to start something up as an ode to like Kobe and the Lakers team, but 2020 was just ridiculous. So we're doing it now, and I think Mateo's back. You good, Mateo? We got to hear your last point. Hello, sir. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Back with us.
Are you good, audio is just trying to wait. Yeah.
Okay, we got you. Okay, brother. Yeah, make that last point about the Warriors. I really wanted to hear it. So
I'd rather make a last point about the Nets, but I can talk about the Warriors real quick.
I'm sorry.
You're all good
because you said it, but yeah,
you're all good.
Okay, brother.
The Warriors are looking better than I thought because Draymond definitely gave him a bump when he came back, man. Just like his defensive IQ and his secondary playmaking, the way he's able to really rally the troops and stuff. Because when it's just Steph and Oubre and Wiggins, it's just like dumbass time, like Steph is going to get guarded really, really heavily and it's going to be harder for him to get shots, but Draymond really gave him some breathing room. I think a Lakers Warriors, first round series would be super fun. In fact, that's something I'm rooting for, to see the Lakers face off against the Warriors, and, we'll get playoff Steph. So we'll get some good performances out of there. That'd be something I'd love to see in the first round, but yeah, my final thoughts are kind of on the Nets. So I think what's going to be good about having Harden on there, if it does end up being KD, Harden, Kyrie, Harden's going to be a lot more free to do what he's got to do. They're going to be guarding KD and Kyrie. So compared to Houston, where if he was getting really hot, teams would just trap him, which is when he crosses the half-court line. They just send 2 defenders onto him, and where you don't really have many other choices besides just to get rid of the ball. And if the team is good enough at rotating on the perimeter like the Lakers were, then you can just kind of shut it down that way, keep a guy from getting a rhythm. So you can't really trap Harden like that because KD and Kyrie are going to capitalize on that. So that's going to be something good. But what he didn't do, especially in that series and in past playoff series, Harden didn't play as much off ball. When he didn't have the ball in his hands, he would just kind of give up on the play. He would say like, okay, I'm not involved. I'm not going to be cutting. I'm not going to, be setting like the best kind of screens. I mean, he would still like set screens and stuff.
To a casual fan, what's off ball?
Off ball is when you're not dribbling the basketball. What are you doing after that? So Harden, what he would kind of do most of the time, he would just pass it off, and then he would just not be engaged with the play. Really stand off in the corner. He wouldn't be moving around much, trying to get his teammates, get himself open from his teammates. That just gives another problem to the defense when you're active off ball. And that's something Russell Westbrook didn't really do much in his career either, which is why I thought it was a weird pairing between him and Westbrook. You got two ball dominant guys, two guys that likes to have the ball in their hands a lot, but they don't do the hard work off ball. You know who does do a lot of good work off ball? Steph and LeBron. LeBron, when he's really engaged and he wants to win the game, he's going to be doing crazy stuff, setting really
his assists are the craziest I've ever. I mean, besides Rondo, like LeBron's assists are also just disgusting. Like,
yeah, in this context, this is about him, receiving assists and then doing the things without the ball.
Oh, I get you. Okay, yeah.
So Harden doesn't do the work when the ball's not in his hand, and with KD and Kyrie on the team, there's going to be a lot more opportunities where the ball isn't in his hand. So
I see what you mean. Okay, yeah. That is going to be crazy.
So he knows he needs to do this, I think, but the thing has always been like, oh, I'm saving my energy for running the offense. Like, all right, dude, but we're in the playoffs and it's game 6 and we're down 5 and you still don't want to like do the off-ball work. Come on. As a Lakers fan playing the Rockets, I'm like, I'm glad that Harden's not doing more work off ball, man, because that would throw a whole nother wrench in our defense. But he didn't do it, and if he does it, his chances might be better this time.
Let me ask you one more thing. If are they going to start all 3 of these dudes? Like,
yeah, there's no way they're bringing any of those.
I mean, but that's just like crazy. Like, I mean, wouldn't you feel like they should like kind of reserve one of them? I don't know. I guess they all have different positions.
Oh, that'd be funny. I get the logic, and it makes basketball sense, man. Have Harden or Kyrie or some come off the bench. That'd be insane.
Well, especially with Kyrie being such a prima donna. So what's it going to be? Kyrie at point, and Harden's going to be shooting guard, and KD's what, like a
small forward,
power forward.
DeAndre at center. And I honestly forget the rest of their lineup.
DeAndre is falling off, though. I mean, maybe it's just because he's surrounded by all-stars, but like that dude is just.
He's not the same beast he was.
Yeah, he's like a double dominant beast. Like I was like, yeah,
but he's still got $10 million from the Nets because he's friends with KD and Kyrie, and that's how it goes, man.
That ain't helping us though. We don't get that 10. I just want to watch fucking some beasts, but I feel
I know. I get you. Yeah, so it'll be Kyrie, Harden, Joe Harris, KD, and DeAndre. I think that's a starting lineup. But then you got the poo-poo platter coming off the bench. So let's see.
I like LeVert. I think LeVert's pretty good. He's okay.
LeVert's not on the team anymore, though. He's on the freaking
team.
Yeah, they traded LeVert to get Harden, dude.
Right. He's on the Pacers with Sabonis over there?
He's with Sabonis, yeah.
Hey, Sabonis, people sleep on that fool. He's super good.
His dad, Arvydas Sabonis, one of the greatest passing big men ever. He's like
that is his pops too. Wow,
he's like Nikola Jokic's inspiration. I'm pretty sure. His game is a lot similar to that. Anyways, yeah. So
we'll wrap it up. But I also wanted to mention: did you see Vucevic also had another monster game against Embiid? That dude is like not scared of Joel. It's interesting. He always has monster games too, but people don't mention it because Embiid had like a seriously monster game. But
Vucevic from the Magic.
Yeah, they just played, and Embiid.
He's really not talked about as the best, in the tier of the best big guys, but he's a killer.
So
dude.
Good. Yeah,
I respect his game too. Yeah.
All right, brother. We'll take us out with some final thoughts here. This was super dope. I've known Mateo so long, so we can just talk about really anything. And he knows NBA. And I was just saying, when you disconnected, like you're just a really bright NBA head. So yeah, bro. Yeah, man.
Final thoughts from a Lakers perspective. The Nets is the team I'm the most intrigued about for sure. I definitely thought so in the first few games of the season, where I'm like, wow, they got KD and Kyrie, and they got that depth too. But now that they sacrificed a bit of depth, added Harden and stuff, I think that they're just as intriguing, if not even more. So I think I don't know if they'd win, but I think I'd have the Nets coming out of the East because I think they'll just figure out a way to just power teams through and just, beat them against a wall. Kind of like the early Heat did, or that first year where they didn't win with Bosch and Wade, but they got to the finals. So they're still going to be
going way back. Wow. I was like, which Heat? Okay, that Heat.
Oh, yeah, the Heat. So I think they'll figure it out, but I don't think they'll figure it out enough to win the title. They'll need to, get a little bit more depth to do that. So I think that kind of wraps it up. I'm really looking forward to that first Lakers-Nets game, which is happening in February. So another month or so.
Mark the date. Yeah, man. We'll watch that. And yeah, man, this is so dope. So I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you, Mateo.
Good, man.
Kobe out. Mamba out, right?
Mamba out, man. LA for life. Take it easy.